Welcome back to the World Series on Fox. Tonight's telecast is presented by T-Mobile One. There'll be a lot to talk about after this one, especially with an eye toward tomorrow. Aroldis Chapman has thrown 57 pitches now, 34 of which triple digits over the last 3 nights. Strop and Wood, but it's Chapman on the mound. Geyer at the plate. Ball one outside. We intend to talk to Joe Madden in our postgame show, which will air on FS1 with Kevin Burkhardt, Alex Rodriguez, Frank Thomas, and Pete Rose. Two 2-0 the count on Geyer. Rajai Davis on deck. Cubs jumped out with 3 in the first, 4 in the third, have led throughout. Down by 7, swinging on a 2-0 pitch. It's 2-1. Explain that.
I would have given him a take for sure. But down 7, I guess I throw all those rules out. Down 2, 100% take.
But at some point, don't you want to maybe silly and splitting hairs, but make Chapman just keep throwing pitches?
Yeah.
Here comes a 2-1 pitch. 3-1. A walk. We'll see if that's it. Yep. That's going to be it for Chapman, but it was not a short night. Here's the double play. Turned by Russell. Brilliance by Baez. That was in the bottom of the 8th. And then the home run by Anthony Rizzo. A 2-run shot into the seats in right. And Rizzo and Bryant have had big nights. Chapman will think about a Game 7 as he's out here in the 9th inning of Game 6.
One large hot and ready classic, please.
That'll be $5.
I left my wallet in the car.
$4.75.
Thank you.
Everyone's got 20 quarters for a large hot and ready classic. Little Caesars, world's easiest way to pizza.
Pizza. An opening night on Broadway is kind of magic. I'm Beowulf Borat, and I'm a Broadway set designer. When I started designing Bronx Tale, the musical, I came up with this idea of 4 towers that were fire escapes, essentially. I'll build a little model in Photoshop and add these details in with a pen. I could never do that with a Mac. I feel like my job is to put out there just enough detail to spur the audience's imagination to fill in all the blanks. This Windows PC is amazing. Having all of my tools right at my fingertips is incredible.
The new Pixel phone by Google, only on Verizon.
Okay, Google, show me Korean restaurants in Boulder.
I found a few places.
The only network that can power the first phone with the new Google Assistant, unlimited photo storage, and a stunning VR experience.
How is this possible?
So buy a Pixel only on Verizon and get up to $400 back. And right now, get 20 gigs and 4 lines for just $160 with no surprise overages. All on America's best network.
One of the great international rivalries in world soccer.
There's a lot of bad blood between these two teams.
Lightning doesn't strike twice. It struck 4 times.
World Series Game 7 tomorrow night. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern. And a matchup of Kyle Hendricks and Corey Kluber. Special time on Fox, 7 Eastern. That's when we hit the air. Game time is 8 o'clock straight up, or watch it all live on Fox Sports Go. Pedro Strop delivers a strike. Here's a jam shot foul backing out of play. Meanwhile, there have been records all over the place. World Series history made again as Bryant and Rizzo are the first 3-4 batters in World Series history to collect 7 or more hits in a World Series game. And there are the numbers. 62 pitches for Aroldis Chapman over the last 2 games, albeit with a day off in between. He threw 20 here tonight in an inning and a third. Allowed 1 hit, walked 1, struck out 1. High fly ball in the air to left, back into the corner. It's Zobrist for a long first out in the 9th. Davis gave it a ride, but Zobrist tracked it down. 1 on, 1 out.
I know there's been major comebacks before, and we've seen it in the regular season, but it's unreal how intensified this game and this time of the year, right? I mean, it's amazing when you start counting outs, counting runs, counting base runners. If this happens, if that happens. Whew. Glad we're up here.
1 on, 1 out. Here's a wild pitch by Strop. As Roberto Perez looks at ball 1.
I thought the theme tonight was going to be, at least, I didn't say it at the beginning, but I thought there'd be 11 pitchers tonight. And there's been 10. It just has a feeling with the way that this game's being played with Tomlin and Arrieta. Now, I never thought it would be 9-2, but nonetheless, 10 pitchers. 4 for the Cubs, 6 for the Indians.
But none for Cleveland that would be considered their top 3 in the bullpen, and that is their closer, Cody Allen, their setup reliever, right-hander Brian Shaw, and Mr. Almost Perfect, Andrew Miller. They are all ready for Game 7.
Exactly.
62 pitches for Aroldis Chapman over 2 games. Strike 2 on Perez.
Put your seatbelts on and enjoy tomorrow night.
Joe Madden changing his lineup tonight, and it paid off immediately with Schwarber in the number 2 spot, moving Bryant back 1, Rizzo back 1, Zobrist back 1, and then Russell out of the number 6 spot with 6 RBIs. For the most part, all Cubs tonight. Here's one into right. This ball will go into the corner. That'll score the runner as Geyer comes home. Throw to second and out for the second out on a throw by Hayward. And a tag by Russell. Down by 6. Terry Francona loses a runner on the bases. And that won't sit well with Terry.
That won't, but you're not going to see a better throw right here. Jason Hayward gets to this ball and then just throws a bullet. So far that he had to jump, did Russell, and so much that he was out easily with Perez trying to get to second.
And the tag by Russell on the right foot of Roberto Perez. Now 2 out. Here's Santana. He takes a ball. And now another. Game 7s in a baseball postseason series are usually things of beauty. You get a tight game 7, and in my opinion, there's nothing in sports like it.
It's the best.
They don't come along that often, but when you get a good game 7, you just can't step away from the pressure all night. What a good matchup. Here's a 4-pitch walk to Santana. The batter will be Kipnis.
Joe West is not happy about the mound visit. He wants to move it along.
Well, he won't be happy about this either.
Well, we got to 11.
I don't know if Strop was upset about the balls and strikes or whatever, but Contreras came out, so did Madden. Now Strop's coming out, and a smile from Pedro to Joe West.
People say I'm scary. Whoa! I say scary is finding out your cable bill just doubled to over $100 a month.
Say goodbye to the way TV used to be. Introducing Sling TV. Instantly stream over 25 channels, including the most popular live sports and shows, for just $20 a month.
Stop paying too much for TV.
Take back TV and save. Go to slingtv.com and watch now for 7 days free.
Check me out, fella. Tell me what you think now.
Find the features that matter to you. Auto Trader.
Crispy, crunchy, cheesy. Papa John's new pan pizza, loaded with cheese that bakes into a delicious crust. Get our new pan pizza with up to 3 toppings for just $10
at papajohns.com.
Who's the genius who puts a girl in heels on a subway grate?
Miss Monroe, eat a Snickers.
Why?
You get a little cranky when you're hungry. Better?
Much better.
This scene will never make the cut.
With over 1 billion color combinations, you'll wonder where the screen ends and life begins. The clearest, most vivid picture we've ever created. This is TV, the SUHD TV from Samsung.
The Chicago Cubs jumped on top with 3 in the first, and they've been smiling ever since. Leaving Wrigley, going on the road and forcing a game 7 with 1 more out. We're in the bottom of the 9th inning, a 9-3 game, 2 out. And after the next out, it will be official. World Series Game 7, the starters, Kyle Hendricks against Corey Kluber, pitching on short rest for the 3rd time this postseason, 2nd time in this World Series. 2 great ERAs. And then the fun after they start tomorrow night's Game 7. Here's Travis Wood into the game. Jason Kipnis has had a big night. Strike 1. Taking second is Santana, uncontested. And no stolen base awarded. Kipnis 3 for 4, needing a triple to hit for the cycle. There's never been a cycle achieved by a hitter in postseason play.
You better not pull it. Hayward's over there.
1,508 games. There hasn't been a cycle, and there won't be one here tonight. This is Russell. Cubs have forced a Game 7. Winning it 9-3. And a big night for the heart of this Chicago lineup. Bryant and Rizzo, Zobrist and Russell. And Travis Wood gets the final out in a 3-hour, 29-minute game. The winner is Arrieta, the loser Josh Tomlin. And tomorrow will be the 38th winner-take-all Game 7 in World Series history. And the 3rd in the last 6 years. 2011, the Cardinals and the Rangers. 2 years ago, the Giants and the Royals.
Well, I don't know how much sleeping there will be tonight, but I can tell you this: whoever enjoys the moment the most tomorrow will have a better chance of success. You have 2 of the most non-emotional pitchers that I think are ready for a Game 7 in Hendrick and Kluber.
Kyle Hendricks 1-1 after a 16-8 year. And here's the final out and the subdued reaction from Joe Madden. The DH, who is back in business with a series in Cleveland. And Addison Russell, who on the 1st of November has a 6 RBI Game 6. And then back in Chicago, where they're having fun at Murphy's Bleachers. The celebration has been going since just after 8 o'clock when the Cubs got 3 in the first. Let's go down to the field and check in with Tom Verducci.
Thanks, Joe. I'm with Joe Madden. Joe, you confounded armchair managers all over the country, bringing your closer into the game with a lead in the 7th inning, and then in the 9th inning having him go out there with a lead of 7 runs. Please explain how you used Aroldis Chapman tonight.
Just trying to get Stropey ready. That happened so quickly with the home run. We had to get him ready. I wanted to get him out there, but that's why he went out for 1 hitter only. He's good hitter out or drawing the walk. He's still out of the game. Brought him in earlier because that's the part of the order he had to get out. He did not want the game to get away from you at that particular moment, so it all worked out well.
Now, he has thrown 62 pitches in the last 3 days. What do you anticipate in terms of tomorrow, length and effectiveness of Aroldis Chapman?
I really anticipate a lot of the same. I do. He's a very strong young man, and again, I'll talk to him later today and tomorrow, but I think he's going to be fine, honestly.
Thanks, Joe. We'll see you in Game 7.
Pleasure, buddy. Thank you.
With me also, Chris Bryant. Chris, you got this game off to a start for the Cubs with the home run in the 1st inning. The curveball from Josh Tomlin. Tell me about the approach on that swing.
I mean, he threw me one the previous pitch. It was away. I mean, you can't really do much with the curveball away. That's kind of how it's been going this series. But, you know, I saw it really good coming inside. And, you know, I love hitting curveballs.
5 hits in your last 7 at-bats, 2 of those home runs. How do you feel about the way you're swinging it right now?
I feel good. I mean, it's happening at the right time. You know, I love this team when our back's against the wall, and we saw it, you know, 2 days ago, and you saw it tonight. It was just really good baseball.
You get to do it again tomorrow, backs against the wall for a Game 7. How does that sound?
You dream for that, man. I mean, we know it's going to be a good game. You know, we know their guy's going to be good. We got one of our best pitchers this year, too, going. So you dream for this, man.
Thanks, Chris. We'll see you tomorrow. Now over to Ken Rosenbaum.
Thanks, Tom. Addison, let's start off with a little historical fact. You became the 2nd youngest player tonight to hit a grand slam in a World Series game after Mickey Mantle. What's your reaction to that?
Surprised, you know, rounding the bases. A lot of emotion was going through my head. Just happy it came tonight.
Now, you struggled in the NLCS, came out of it. You struggled at the start of the World Series, came out of it. How were you able to do that both times?
It's just no panic, you know. This is our lifestyle. We're here to have some fun. We're here to win some ball games. We're here to pick some teammates up, and that's just our game. That's how we played all year. So it's a lot of fun.
Game 7 tomorrow. It's what every kid dreams about. How excited will you be tonight? Will it be difficult to sleep?
I hope it's not difficult to sleep, but yeah, it's every kid's dream. I mean, it all comes down to Game 7, and we're excited. We're just going to go out here and just treat it almost like another game.
Addison, thanks very much. Joe, back to you.
Kenny, thank you, and thanks to Tom Verducci. Nice of Joe Madden to grant the interview after this Game 6 and explain his thinking with regard to Aroldis Chapman, who comes on for an inning and a third and allows 1 run on 1 hit. Through 20 pitches, and tomorrow the 2 longest World Series droughts, one of these will come to an end. The Cubs have been waiting since 1908. Will it end tomorrow night, or will it end for Cleveland? They last won it all in 1948. The pitching matchup, Kyle Hendricks, the right-hander, after a 16-win season, led the big leagues in ERA against Corey Kluber. He's been a warrior this postseason, 4-1 after an 18-win year. And when we play tomorrow, by days, it will be 39,466 days since the Cubs last won it all. For the Indians, 24,859.
Extra innings tomorrow.
That's your call.
Yeah.
from John Smoltz. There's nothing like a Game 7 winner take all for the 38th time in World Series history. Can't wait. Kevin, guys, it's all yours.
Okay, Joe and John, thanks very much. And it will be a Game 7, and we are fired up to talk about this Game 6. We will do that coming up here on Fox. The Cubs win. They force it. Plenty to do. We'll have a reaction from the field, from the clubhouse. We've got a lot to talk about in this game. Cubs offense come alive, and Aroldis Chapman used in an interesting situation. We'll be back to do that, but it was these Cubbies. The offense came to life early and often tonight to force a Game 7 in this exciting World Series. And so the Cub fans out in full force here in Cleveland. Game 7, here we come. Postgame. We're back.
The UFC's legendary New York debut begins on FS1 with the biggest prelims card in UFC history. UFC 205 prelims, Saturday, November 12th, only on FS1.
This week, it's the NFL on Fox. The Cowboys collide with the Browns, or the Eagles battle the Giants. It all begins at 11 Eastern. And don't miss a full slate of games on Fox.
This is a Fox 18 News Update.
More people affected by the opioid epidemic.
What group is now showing up in hospitals tonight on a special edition of Fox 18 News at 9 after the game?
Time's running out to get this extreme deal. Extreme bundles with TV, internet, and phone average as low as $26.66 per service a month for a year. Enjoy download speeds up to 150 meg with the fastest in-home Wi-Fi. The power to watch live TV on every device in your home. And more choices with on-demand and TiVo DVR. Extreme bundles average as low as $26.66 per service a month for a year. Hurry, offer ends November 21st. Call 800-SIMPLIFY for details.
Is there something you could do to help nurture this relationship?
Your head is wonderfully round. Bald is beautiful.
Your mustache almost looks not ridiculous.
On November 9th, Riggs and Murtaugh are back.
Okay. Yeah, well, this worked out fine.
Okay, now you're angry.
You ever feel like you made the wrong career choice? Yeah, the day I met you.
Lethal Weapon, all new Wednesday, November 9th on Fox.
One of the great international rivalries in world soccer.
There's a lot of bad blood between these two teams.
Lightning doesn't strike twice. It struck 4 times. Postgame show presented by Lethal Weapon on Fox. 9-3 Cubs win in this game number 6, and that means we've got a game number 7 coming up from Cleveland tomorrow night, which should be fun. I mean, nothing better in sports than a game 7 in the World Series, right? Cannot wait here in Progressive Field. A reminder for continuing postgame coverage of the World Series, turn it over to FS1. We will be there full time in just a moment. You can click it on right now if you like. Come on in to our set. Frank Thomas, Pete Rose, Alex Rodriguez, and I'm Kevin Burkhardt, and the crazies behind us. Cubs fans making a lot of noise here in Cleveland, that is for sure. So the Cubs offense goes nuts. We'll discuss in a minute, but Aroldis Chapman, the fact that he's in this game was certainly interesting. We heard Joe Madden talk about it, his explanation why. Does it still surprise you, Frank, the fact that he pitched tonight at all?
It surprised me because it was a 7-2 lead. And you know you got to win game 6, but game 7 is looming when you got a lead like that. So you got to think about the one-for-all game, because tomorrow's winner take all. You're going to need all of your weapons.
Did his explanation make any sense?
Joe?
Yeah.
Well, he said that he thinks Chapman will be fine tomorrow. Do you agree?
I don't see how he can be. That's a lot of pitches in 3 days.
Sure is. What do you think, Alex?
You know, for me, it was a great win for the Cubs. Rough night for Joe Madden. I think both teams won tonight. Obviously, the Cubs win Game 6, 9-3. Chapman getting in the game, putting his last 2 appearances at 4 innings and 62 pitches. Indians win. And 62 pitches doesn't tell the full story. He doesn't like that. I played with him. He wants to be kept very comfortable. 9 in the 9th inning.
Well, it's interesting for Chapman. Most pitches in a 3-day span, 73, right? So he had 42 the other day, 20 tonight. And we'll see if he's even needed tomorrow. Who knows? That's for sure. But how about the starting pitchers for tomorrow night? You heard John Smoltz at the end of the broadcast. Two guys that are extremely calm, no doubt. Hendricks has been good these playoffs. Kluber has been unhittable in these playoffs. So, Pete, who's got the edge?
Another thing about this game tonight. If Rizzo don't hit that home run to make it 9-2, Chapman probably stays in there.
Oh, no doubt. 100% he stays in.
Maybe the biggest hit of the game for the Cubs was the Rizzo home run.
Yeah,
so
the score was 7-2.
You're right, Pete.
Just to save him another 10 pitches. We'll hear from Rizzo in a little bit. Frank, Kluber, Hendricks tomorrow. Who do you like?
Well, we've seen Kluber a lot. You know, the Cubs got to figure him out if they're going to win. If not, Cleveland Indians, if he pitches like he had in the first 2 ball games, Cleveland Indians can win this whole thing. But the way the offense swung the bat tonight for the Cubs, they're ready for any pitcher right now. And 2 through 6 puts so much pressure on the Indians pitching, like we talked about earlier in the game. They will be ready for Kluber tomorrow night.
The question was, who do you like tomorrow night?
I'll tell you tomorrow.
He took one out of your
I
book,
gotta
Pete.
sleep on it.
Oh, my goodness. Stay tuned for your late local news and for continuing post-game coverage of the World Series. Flip it over to FS1 right now. We will be there in about 8 seconds. See you there.